for the sake of better understanding for everybody, I'm going to make this video in English. So this comment said, sometimes my brain doesn't click as fast. I really need to train that. Do you have any help for a non-ignorant white mom? So, and the comment is in reference to, I don't really know how to say it, clapping back if someone is rude to your child or says something racist or does something inappropriate, and to overcome that shame, I'm not sure if that's the right word, shame or that hesitance of like being rude back, right? So I'm just going to tell you how it was for me, my personal experience. I was raised to always be friendly, okay? You have to be nice, smile, say hi, never be rude, which also means if your opinion differs from another person's opinion, just don't say it to keep the peace. This shit is fucking toxic, okay? And that led me to be a very lonely person. I was very lonely for a very long time of my teenage years, and I was very going with the flow, I should say. I was not really myself, right? I had my first child when I was 18 years old, and then I still used to think, oh, you know, if doctors tell you a certain thing, it must be true because they're doctors, right? If nurses tell you a certain thing, midwives tell you a certain thing, teachers tell you a certain thing, other random people, they must have a reason for telling you this. Today, my 33-year-old self, I have had arguments with doctors that told me, oh, are you the doctor or me? And I said, just because you learned something from a book doesn't make it right. Silence. Okay. I came to understand that another person's opinion does not fucking matter to me. I came to drop the shame I was raised with. I learned that if I want to protect my children, one, if I want my children to know they are protected too, and thirdly, if most of all, I want my children to know that they should be themselves unapologetically, I have to practice that first. Because there's this wonderful saying that says, children see, children do. You can't teach your children, preach to your children from now till they leave your house. They will never do what you preach, but what you do. And if you really want to believe that, or if you really want to check if I'm right, check how your children talk, their mannerisms, check how they act in situations when they are angry, for example. They mirror your behavior. Me, for example, I lose my shit in the blink of an eye. I'm a very emotional person, and I often allow my emotions to take over my thinking, which can lead to the fact that my emotions be telling me, oh, you know, this is because A is happening. Meanwhile, my emotions are going to make A the reality, and I will be fully convinced that the reality is A. Meanwhile, the reality is B. But I'm in therapy, okay? So I have come to understand that, and I'm now able to differentiate between, in most cases, still not all cases, though I'm human, okay? I make mistakes. Is my emotions influencing my thinking, or is this really the case? Is that actual reality? And I also came to a point whereby there was a time in my life where people were trying to tell me that, oh, this is positive racism or this is negative racism. And absolutely not, okay? The case in the video, if you listen well, you will hear that the man said, oh, he just told my son that he's a beautiful boy. He said in German, er ist ein schöner Junge, okay? So he complimented my child and therefore pat him on the head. And I have been told this in my earlier years because, like I said, my first child, I had him when I was 18 years old. And he had a huge afro, okay? Like he was a huge Michael Jackson fan, so he used to comb his hair out, and it was very round and absolutely stunning. And people used to touch him all the time. And I was very hesitant because to me, I saw that their intention was indeed not a bad one. Most certainly, this man had no ill intentions towards my child. I'm 100% convinced. He saw my son, maybe he was like, oh my God, he's so cute. That happens. But me now, I do not care about your intentions. In fact, I will die on that hill. I will tell you to go and fuck yourself and shove your intentions up your ass, because a good intention doesn't mean a good outcome. And I have come to understand that just because you have a good intention, your outcome can still be racist. And I will always call that out. Also, I was raised for a very long time of my life to sugarcoat my words and my own feelings in order to accommodate somebody else. I was raised to be a people pleaser. Over and out the fucking window, okay? I never, ever, ever want my children to dim their light just to accommodate another person's darkness. That will never happen. Because for a long time in my life, I would have wanted to have my light shine. But one, there was nobody that would have even seen that I had a light that was shining. And secondly, they will always tell me, oh, it's too dark in here. Your light is not bright enough, in the poetic sense, if you get what I mean. I want my children to know your light is the brightest. You're the most beautiful, the most capable, the most able, the most amazing. And I do not, for the life of me, care one fucking bit if that's going to hurt your feeling, the feelings of your child. I do not care. You know why? Because the world does not console or accommodate my black children or any black child for that matter. And until we get to a point where also black children are considered human and their feelings are going to considered valid, I will never stop. I will always tell my children, you're better than everybody else. And I know that makes a lot of people mad. And you know what that does? It gives me peace. Knowing that my children's confidence makes someone mad because they're like, oh, you shouldn't tell your child that theirs better than... Yes, my child is better than yours. 100%. I don't care if that's factually true. I'm going to make it their reality. I will always tell my children that they are better than everybody else. They are better than me. They are better than their father. They are the better version of any one of us. My children have a self-confidence that I did not even have when I was 18, 19 years old. And they are still they are still toddlers. I was about to say teenagers. They are still toddlers. In a nutshell, I have stopped giving a fuck about other people's opinions, feelings, their words, which does not mean that I'm a rude person. Don't get shit twisted. Don't get shit twisted, because you're like twisting my words till daybreak. Don't fucking twist my words. I am a very helpful person. I'm a very kind person, and I'm a very friendly person. But come and fuck with my children, I will drag you to hell twice. And I will be smiling while doing that. I don't give a fuck, okay? Because I was a very broken child, okay? And I did not carry the burden of being black in the white man's eyes. I did not carry that burden. I still don't. But my children, on top of being raised in the world the way it is, carry the burden of being victims of racism. And I was already broken. My childhood was not child's play, and I'm still healing from it as I am talking right now. My kids will never have to do that. They will never have to heal from anything coming from my side, okay? I want them to look at me and remember me as their safe space. I want them to know, even when they are 40, if something goes wrong, let me call my mom. She will know what to do. Because I'm 33, I had to figure shit out myself all my life. Even when I was my children's age. I was on my own literally all my life, okay? And I want my children to know that whatever it takes, whatever it is, I'm going to get my mom. That's what I want. I want my children to be attached to me and knowing that they can rely on me whatever happens. And for that, I need to practice that. I need to, in situations like this, stand up for my kids every single time. Because every single time it happens, they look at me. They see what I'm doing. They see what I'm saying. And they know that I protect them no matter what. And that is how they will grow up safe and sound, knowing if my mom had this situation, this and that is how she handled it. And of course, considering that the way I react is not the way they should react because they are black. And I make that very crystal clear to them. So my advice to you is, don't let shit slide because you're afraid to hurt people's feelings. Hurt them. That's all I can say.